And that's why I just, haven't been able to wash all week because, you can't
I don't think
wash.
I don't think that you not wanting to wash is a reason why you can't wash, Jamie.
No. The thing is, like I either get in the sink or I wait outside for it to rain. And don't get me wrong, it's been a little bit, spitting, if you will. But that ain't gonna clean this boy.
So welcome back to Down with Boring, everyone.
Yes.
It's another week. All the weeks blend into one during lockdown, so it feels like the same week, but it's another one. It is another one.
Is it though?
It is another one. Now,
is it?
Jamie just then was explaining to me the issues he's been having with his bath being out of action because of a blockage in the pipe.
Well,
and because of me, because I am a good friend, I went round there. Jamie, I haven't told you this, but I went round.
Did you? Wait, hold on. How did you get in?
Well, let's just say you're going to need to call a window repairman. But I got in, and I unscrewed some of the pipes, and I found the blockage in there, Jamie.
Yeah? What was the blockage, Jay? What on earth could be in there?
Well, I'll tell you what it was. It was a ball of hair, Jamie. And I took the ball of hair out, and I took it out to the bin, and I put it in the bin, and then I went home, and I got an email, and it was the dork mailbag in the email.
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah, that's the story. The email was the dork mail. No, I'm kidding. The dork mailbag was what was blocking the pipe, Jamie. You were right.
Was it like I knew I'd misplaced it somewhere?
Well, the thing is, the pipes you had were good to clear up to 1.5 letters. That's the grade used.
What do you mean? Wait,
so if you've got 1.5 letters stuck down there, you can flush it out with the water. That's fine. But any more than that, and it'll block it up. So unfortunately, you had 2 letters stuck in there in the dork mailbag. So that's what blocked the pipes. But the letters, luckily, were unharmed, Jamie. The letters were unharmed. Right. So I can read them to you now if you want. Would you like that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You've gone to this. You've gone to all this trouble.
I have. Drying them under your hairdryer. You know, that's why your room smells like that now. Sorry about that. Anyway, Ollie from Chester says, "Hi, Dork. Hello. Why don't you get Tom Jones on the podcast?"
It's a direct request, that isn't it?
Well, it's more accusatory, I think, than a request.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you?
But why?
Like, newsflash, Polly, we don't want him.
Well. Wouldn't go that far, mate.
No, he keeps getting in touch. He says, "Please put me on the podcast." I'm like, Tom,
we're turning him away. Away. If you're
gonna be here on Jules Holland not playing Sex Bomb, we don't want you.
Because that's what stopped us, is it? Was his performance on Later with Jules Holland?
I said, Tom, you were 59 years old when you released Sex Bomb. Grow up. That's what I said to him.
Was he 59?
He was, yeah.
Well, can't stop him, Something he's drinking's keeping.
It's true. I mean, I would have Tom Jones on. Tom, if you are listening, we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, if you are listening, we would welcome you with open arms. You can come round. Well, maybe not now, because,
No, I'd have him round. I'd take that,
You'd take the fine, would you?
I would. I'd take the potential disease. Yeah.
More of a risk to him, if anything.
No. Big Tom, he'll be fine.
What do you mean?
Oh, come off it.
He doesn't have his own ecosystem.
Yes, he does. Are you telling me that Tom Jones is going to get ill? I don't believe it. I can't imagine Tom Jones with a cold. Not even a cold.
No. I can imagine he sings the cold out.
Me too.
You know what I mean? He's just like, "Rah!" And it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. And you're like, wow.
Into the world.
Fair play, Mr. Jones. But yeah, I mean, we would have him on. It's not like we're banning him. We haven't banned anyone from the show.
We haven't. That's true.
Not yet.
Apart from Morrissey, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, we can't have him on.
I said to Morrissey, we'll have you on, but only if you cover Sex Bomb by Tom Jones on Jules Holland. I haven't had a response yet.
And so, nope, not for us. Jay, what's the second question in the mailbag?
Well, it might not be a question. It's just a letter, just some correspondence from abroad.
I'm not expecting a check or anything. I'm pretty aware of what's going on here. But
it says, "Dear homeowner, we're doing house valuations in your area." No, it doesn't. It says this one's from Stan from Cardiff. Hi, Stan.
Ooh, that's a very
short
old
for Staniel,
name.
I think.
Yeah.
So Staniel says, "What do you do when it's too windy to go outside?"
Don't go out.
Yeah. I mean, also,
that's simple.
I mean, we do live in, it's very rare in Britain that it's too windy to go outside.
Yeah, it can be a bit much, but not to go outside, it kind of implies that there is some sort of, hurricane or natural disaster coming down. And the United Kingdom's, weather temperature, if you will, or libido, as some would say, isn't inclined.
Neither of those are even close to the right.
Neither, are what's going on here. So I think we don't really have it. But what I would say, if it gets too windy, just don't go out. Get into shelter. We don't want you blowing away. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add on that health warning, Jake.
Well, what I think is a good thing, if there's a couple of things at play here, I think, right? Number one is the wind, right? That's bad. But number two is the awful state of the UK job market at the moment, which I think lends a backdrop to everything that we do on this show. So I think what you can do is you can hire two large out of work men to shield you from the wind.
No, you can't. Just to stand there?
Yeah.
What, either side? No,
on whichever side the wind's cut, the prevailing side of, they might have to shift a bit. But then you've created two jobs and you've also solved the wind issue.
I've got the image. Are you thinking of wind bouncers? Is that
100%?
You're thinking
wind
of wind bouncers?
Yep.
Right.
You're not on the list. You're not coming in, mate. I don't care if you're a natural force who's been around since the dawn of time. You're not coming in.
They would be of such stature that the wind simply cannot get through them.
Mate, I don't give a shit if you're simply energy passing between molecules in a linear state, right? You're not coming in.
Not tonight. Tonight, guys.
Try again tomorrow.
What's that on your shoe? Nah, not coming in.
Exactly.
You've seen the state of yourself. Having none of it.
Sorry, are you carrying tiny particles of pollution? No, mate, not tonight. Not
today. Not today, sir. Not today. It's not that kind of establishment. It's
exactly.
Not that back here.
That's what I do.
As Paul stands there shivering from the breeze.
Exactly. Either that or I don't go outside.
Yeah, stand outside. Should we go on to some news, Jake?
I love news.
Yeah. Well,
delicious and nutritious.
I've got some. First is got some vaccine news.
Oh wow, nice one, mate. That stuff you've been cooking up in the shed finally paying dividends.
Yes, actually, in a lot of ways, because in my shed you'll find the vaccines who have. They've not been that happy about being in the shed. They're not happy about the diet, which is ham sandwiches and cold hot chocolate. A real dichotomy of our times, if anything. What will happen next? We'll see. But while they've been in there, they have made a covers EP, which is, not too shabby. They've kind of been, away for a little bit. And now they've got a covers EP coming out. And, the first song that they've unveiled for it is a cover of No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age.
Of course, the very same.
Yeah, Jay, what do you think about covers EPs as a whole? They've kind of grown over the past year. Yeah, James Blake, he popped out a cheeky little covers EP. And now the vaccines are doing it. They're all at it. Well, what's your opinion?
I like a covers EP. As a fun sort of diversion, but I don't like it if it takes away from the album cycle. And also, I think a successful cover either needs to be better than the original, which is going to be very hard, or completely different to the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, men covering women. I think this is quite a good one. The vaccine's got a very different sound to Queens of the Stone Age, so covering No One Knows. And they've switched it up a bit. That's fun. You know?
They have. It's a cozy karaoke covers EP, so it's a little bit lo-fi, as they say in the musical circles.
Now, what is interesting about cover versions is that the 1999 album Reload by Tom Jones was a covers album.
I mean,
it was a covers album. Let me finish, Jamie. It was a covers album featuring 14 covers and one original song, and that one original song was Sex Bomb.
No messing around. It's a
so
sensational.
He's done an entire covers album, and then he's gone, I simply need to release this track I've been working on. The Horn Dog up in his bedroom.
Can I just say there's some absolute bangers on that album, Reload. Burning Down the House, Tom Jones. Mama Told Me Not to Come, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Lest we forget, Are You Gonna Go My Way, the Lenny Kravitz song. But he performs it with Robbie Williams. I don't know about
What I love
a winner
about this is that the way. So, if you look on the Wikipedia page, which I assume is what you're on, Jamie, people at home, feel free to go on it too. The way the track listing is done is it makes it sound like almost like a list of things he did, like Burning Down the House with the Cardigans, Mama Told Me Not to Come with Stereophonics. Are you going to go My Way with Robbie Williams?
All Mine with the Divine Comedy.
I'm looking out my window with the James Taylor Quartet. You know, sometimes we cry with Van Morrison.
You Need Love Like I Do with Heather Small.
Yeah. You Need Love with Heather Small. We all do. Anyway, that's why I'm excited for the Vaccines cover EP.
That's exactly right. Whilst we've talked about the Tom Jones album, here is the Vaccines version of No One Knows. A great cover, you know. Bring on the vaccines, as they say.
Yeah.
I've got some more news for you.
Wow,
some sad news. I don't know if you will remember, or if they've. I mean, look, we all have to look back at the moment and see some dark moments in all of our lives.
We do. This is true.
And that for us is the first episode of Down with Boring. We were young, reckless, without a care in the world.
You had that weird moustache.
I did. What was that about? I had investments, and now they're gone. The market has frozen. But we had a segment on that show, which we called the Festival Graveyard. And then we realised very quickly wasn't actually that fun.
No, it wasn't enjoyable.
But in keeping with that spirit, unfortunately, the news came out this week that Glastonbury has it's been cancelled this year. It's not happening.
Another year without confused Americans saying, hello, Glastonbury.
Another year without it. Another year without the terms Shangri-La. What will we do?
Well, Michael Levis has said, if possible, he would like to do something in September. The original festival was on the 18th of September 1970. So he said, I would like to consider doing a smaller event if possible. But he wants to get reassurance that that's allowed. Obviously, he wants to do it all above board. So
he's not breaking the rules. He ain't having none of it.
Bad news, but potentially a little bit of silver lining there. Maybe
a little bit of sunshine, and then next year it'll be even madder. So we hold out hope, and also the BBC will probably show about 70 hours of footage, won't they?
Exactly, including that incredible Tom Jones performance in the Legends slot.
Massive. I know what I'm watching straight away. Don't you? Jake, have you got some other news to kind of lift spirits, if you will?
Couple of pieces of news.
That caught your eye.
Just a quick one. Yeah, just a quick one first. So Olivia Rodrigo has obviously got the biggest song in the world ever, right?
Emotional.
Smash hit. driver's license, right?
Huge.
But Cardi B has come out and she has, said that this song has given her the courage to admit that she doesn't have a driver's license.
Oh no. So she's tweeted, hasn't got round to it?
Just like that girl wrote a song about getting a driver's license, I'm going to write a song about the struggle of not having a driver's license. I really wanted McDonald's at 4 a.m. last night, but I couldn't, so I fell asleep hungry.
Oh.
That's a heartbreaking tale.
It's actually quite sad.
Then, Olivia Rodrigo replied, "Girl, I will pick you up and take you wherever you want to go." So that's nice. They're going to go to McDonald's together and get Happy Meals.
Oh, that's not too bad. So Olivia Rodrigo is now not only a chart-topping superstar, but she's also a chauffeur for Cardi B in some way.
I like the idea that Cardi B is saying they should get Happy Meals, despite both of them probably now having more money than they know what to do with. Like, the budget option, please.
Yeah. I'm not going to go crazy. I'll have the Happy Meal, please. I just want to, tuck it in. Maybe it's for the toy. The toys are always good at the Happy Meals.
I think you can buy the toys separately.
I beg your pardon? What?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't realise this was a thing, and then I was behind someone with kids there, and they were like, "Oh, and I'll have a toy as well," and they bought the toy.
You were leaning over as the kid was buying the toy.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on a minute. How did
exactly? How this is not allowed? Because then surely you just go in and buy them all, right?
Because the whole point is that you have to eat your meal before you open the toy. That's the gift at the end,
Exactly. I remember when I was a kid, I got a shit toy, and I remember asking whether I could have a better one. Yeah. My mum went up to ask, and now I think about it, and I'm like, God, if you worked at McDonald's and that happened, you'd be like, oh, fuck off. Some like 7-year-olds, you're like, I'm really busy here trying to run a fucking fast food place and feed, and you're here like, oh, can I have the green one? You're fucking rummaging around this big box. Like, I hate you all.
Can I have the blue Hot Wheel, please? No, get one out of here. I mean, I can't imagine. Can you imagine Cardi B and Olivia Rodrigo at McDonald's? I
think I can. I can imagine it as a kind of fun thing, Do
you know? I actually know what Cardi B would order, and I don't think it's a Happy Meal. It's a Wappy Meal. Hey,
you think she'd order it?
Dig on in.
Do you know what WAP means, Jamie?
Yeah.
Well, let's not.
This is Olivia Rodrigo. This is Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license. Biggest song in the world, Jake. It's huge.
But it's not giant. As huge. It's not as huge as this other piece of news I've got for you. Now, this is reported, right? So this hasn't been officially launched yet. This is a bit of a scoop. It has been elsewhere, but it's kind of rumoured. No one's really sure, right? The news has been broken in the Daily Star, right? The Rolling Stones are going to launch their own branded chocolate bars next week. So this week, I guess, we record this ahead. So this week, a milk chocolate bar called Brown Sugar and a dark chocolate bar called Cherry Red. Yep.
Pause. Brown Sugar. Yeah. They're going to release a chocolate bar called Brown Sugar.
Yep. Not only that, they're releasing a milk chocolate bar called Brown Sugar, which presumably won't have the taste or texture of brown sugar, and then a dark chocolate bar, which is presumably more brown than the milk chocolate bar, called Cherry Red.
Bitter.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Rolling Stones, you know what I mean? Like, fair play to them. They've done their innings. They've got the right to do whatever they want now. They've kind of gone clear, right? But, what point are they like, oh, do we need to make the chocolate bars?
Well, the thing is, the chocolate bar will apparently cost £5.95 plus postage.
I beg, no, get out. £5.95. £5.95.
Yeah,
we don't know the size of the chocolate bars, do we?
It's not going to be big enough, is it?
It's not going to be giant, is it? No. £5.95.
I think what's happened is that
stealing a living. Unbelievable.
There comes a point, right, where you're a big act and you get these opportunities to do all this merchandise and that, right, and earn the money. But like, you know, if you were the Rolling Stones and you were shilling chocolate bars back in the 70s, your credibility out the window, right? So you got to weigh it up. You got to think like, right, long term, we need to protect the brand. They're now so old that they're like, look, who gives a shit? Like, we're going to reissue that fucking album to beat Declan McKenna, open a shop in Carnaby Street, fucking do some chocolate bars.
Why not?
Like, honestly, they're one step away from the condom, JLS condoms, you know?
Rolling Bones, am I right?
Well, there you go. So yeah, I expect to see a lot more Rolling Stones merch in the future. Literally anything, like Krusty the Clown in The Simpsons. You know, he'll merchandise anything because I think they've just got to the point.
Have they done like Rolling Stones beds? Have they done like Rolling Stones?
Probably. Rolling Stones stones.
Maybe Rolling just Stones confetti. Rolling Stones.
Are you just listing things?
B-days? B-days?
You're just listing
Are they going
stuff?
to B-days yet?
We could literally go on forever.
But instead, let's have a listen to a Rolling Stones song, shall we? This is, what we get when we bite into a chocolate bar, when we realise that we've... It's that! The shit satisfaction!
And I believe that after we play the shit satisfaction, Jesus Christ,
we'll be joined.
we'll be joined by Goat Girl.
Yes, we will be.
And here we are. We are back, Jake, and we're joined at this time.
Sounding infused as always, Jamie.
I never know how to do this. I kind of panic.
A little bit of razzle dazzle. You know, this is the only bit people care about.
Yeah, it's the only reason why anyone's tuning in, to be fair. We're joined right now by Holly and Lottie from Goat Girl. Guys, how are we doing? Welcome aboard. Thanks for stopping by.
Hello.
Yes, cheers.
We're here.
Welcome in. Thank you for taking the time. How are things in the world of Goat Girl at the moment? How's it feel? I guess getting ready to release this second album. Like how does it feel? Obviously, a bit of a weird time, all in all. But I guess how does it feel? Kind of like getting ready to get that out there.
Look,
I know it's a hard hitting one. I know we've gone in deep here.
It's a really hard question, you know.
Yeah. How do you sum it up? You know, in words, it's a world to move into. I guess How are things?
Yeah, I mean, going as good as they could be, I guess. For the limited amount that we could be doing at the moment, we're doing it well. It's just a shame we can't be like on tour and playing to people in the flesh, but we've been getting some nice comments on YouTube and Instagram, etc.
Well, that's just as good, isn't it? That's the equivalent now. That's all we've got left is comments.
It's the comments. Yeah, the thing that we always would like turn away from now is literally the only thing that we're kind of like just getting, and just come flying in. But I guess like, does it? Like you say, it's obviously like, you know, kind of like weird, and but does it kind of like feel like, I don't know, like obviously very different from last time in terms of everything that you kind of like geared up to with that debut album. With the second album, I guess, does it feel like there's more pressure or less pressure? Like, how does that kind of, I guess, feel?
I feel like there's less pressure because we wrote it all together, so people aren't coming to me for answers. We can sort of like disperse everything around with each other, which is nice. No, but like I don't know, it's just, I mean, I feel really confident with this album. Genuinely, because it is just like brilliant. And we put so much like time and effort into it, and I feel very confident. Like, I don't know, there's been a few negative comments like about some of the singles, but it really doesn't faze me because I really do sort of believe in it. Like,
you don't need to look at that.
There was a really funny comment. Let me find it. Wait, Jane Smith. I don't understand
just
the hype.
Just called out, by the way, just straight up, just like, come on,
listening. If you're listening.
Very like general name, I don't know, it's pretty common. Anyway, she doesn't understand the hype. There's nothing compelling here. No original sound, visuals, or lyrics.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
It sounds like
Why was she
Jane
there?
is a very harsh critic. You always want to say to these people, like, who do you like? Like, that could, I mean, that's a very high bar to set, like, before you even get into whether you enjoy the song.
Like no one forced you to, like, listen to this. I'm sorry.
Navigate to it on YouTube, listen and go, you know what, this is not compelling. I don't know why I'm here.
Please feel free to just, like, leave the video, just, like, not listen to it anymore.
That takes so much longer to write than clicking off of the video would have done as well.
Like, or just simply not. And instead just gone, I'm going in.
We don't know the whole story, you know, like maybe Jane, you know, has a partner who is obsessed with Goat Girl and like won't shut up about them. And like Jane has just been like subjected to hours and hours on end of Goat Girl to the point where she's gone insane.
I think that's the only conclusion that leads to Jane not being an arsehole, so let's hope that's right.
I like to look on the positive side, you know. Yeah, she was having a bad day.
How bad does your day have to be to do that, though?
I don't know.
I need to turn. I need to let this band know that I do not like it. But
thanks, Jane. It's noted. We will now change everything.
Become a techno outfit just for Jane.
Yeah. You look on the album sleeve and there's suddenly just Jane at the bottom as a thank you, just like
produced by Jane Smith.
Every critic. I guess that must be good that you kind of like you say, you've kind of, I guess, don't take. Was it a case, obviously, like before, that you would pay attention, I guess, to kind of like people's opinions, maybe necessarily, or like, do you suddenly feel, I guess, a lot more confident in what you're doing? I guess that definitely a good way to sum it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think due to the amount of time that we've just been spending together playing music and like coming up with different ideas and stuff, we have just like developed as musicians and like kind of sort of, I don't know, not become virtuosic, because that's just like
that's not true.
Not really true. But we're just better at our answers, you know. We kind of like understand where we want to go with chords and like what chords kind of like make us feel certain ways, and the kind of, I think knowing when to play and when not to play is also like something we've learned a bit more about. And
we spent so much time like kind of changing things up and stuff. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, I personally don't feel any like regrets of like, oh, I wish we'd not done this or changed this. And like, we actually recorded it quite a long time ago and have had some space from it since. And obviously we haven't really been able to tour it and play it or get jaded with any of the tracks. So it's still like really fresh and exciting. And we're like really proud of it. I don't think I'll get jaded with them anyway, because I do really love them, but it's just, it still feels exciting, even though it's been quite a long time, you know?
Yeah, that's it. It's still kind of like fresh in your minds, I guess. And like, do you kind of like, you know, when it came to, like you say, kind of like the kind of like, you know, I guess the I guess change in sound is probably is a way to put it, but I guess like you can definitely like you've seen it grown from the first album, I guess as well. What kind of made you go in this kind of like I guess like a little bit more electronic direction and kind of like trying more things out? I guess was there something that kind of triggered that, or was it literally just a case of you were in the studio and together you were like, let's just try this?
I think, well, obviously I was new. Naima left, and like we were like getting to know each other, and like I don't know, like Rosie hadn't really been like that excited about playing drums for a while, and they're actually a really great, you know, keyboard player, and I think everyone just kind of wanted to change things up, and we were getting to know each other. But I also like I had a synth, which is kind of like a very silly but practical reason as to why I guess there's a lot more synth in a way, because I just brought it along to practice, and everyone was just kind of having a go, and we just started like writing stuff naturally with that as part of the instrumentation. So I guess it was kind of just as simple as just bringing one to practice and starting to play with it.
Literally,
it's kind of like
no grand plan.
But no, it wasn't like a grand plan. But I guess like we all do listen to electronic music separately, and we all do have quite like different tastes. But I think that is one of the crossovers that we have. And like when we all make demos individually, they normally come from a more electronic place anyway, because you're sort of programming drums or like using MIDI keyboard and putting bits in. Like, so I think it just kind of it was natural to go in that direction. But as Lottie, we've said before as well, like there were obviously signs of that on the first record with like the interludes, and we had like our friend Callum playing synth live with us. Like just, I think it's always been there to like introduce it, but we just had the means to like actually get into it a bit more, I guess, when I brought that along.
yeah. You were literally like, it's here now. We can actually use this now. Like you don't have to just like come up with the ideas.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, literally. And I get Holly, like you were saying, you're the new recruit. How does it feel? And have you been welcomed warmly? What was that welcome like? It
was horrible.
It was horrible. They were literally like,
I was going to say, I can't really imagine that question going any other way than like, yes. Yeah, we all hate each other, but you know, you just got to keep going.
We just kind of powered through. Yeah, that's it.
We pranked Holly. We pranked her.
You're still pranking me now. You've been pranking me for like 2.5 years. It's actually been so long. Do you know? It's so crazy. Like,
at one point, you're like, maybe we should like end the joke now. No, let's just keep going for a few more months.
Been going for too long now.
We'll just have to roll with it. And I guess for you as well, like, kind of like with this album as well, do you kind of have goals and ambitions that you're like you want to like achieve with this? I guess like is there certain things like, you know, obviously we can't obviously go and see gigs or play gigs right now at the moment, but are there certain things where you're like, oh, I want to be that band who can play that larger venue, or like I guess like what kind of ambitions I guess are you like with the second album? You're like, right, maybe we can achieve that now. Are there certain things you want to go and do?
I guess touring more.
Going other
never
places.
Really, like travelled that much with the band. We did like one tour abroad in Spain that was like a proper headline tour, and it was really weird. I don't know. They said we were headlining, but we'd always play second.
Right. Okay. I mean,
that was a joke too.
Didn't seem right. We kept going. It was sponsored by Gagmeister as well. It was all very confusing. So we would like to like properly tour.
Get out there.
Yeah, so many things I think, but I don't think we're like necessarily really kind of ambitious with it. I don't know, like there's not really like an end goal that I'm sort of striving for. It's not like I really want to play like on the main stage of Glastonbury. Like it's more that I really just want to work with people that I love and meet really interesting people from what we do, and just travel the world, I guess.
100%.
Yeah, super nice to go to like South America and like Asia and stuff like that, I think. But yeah, we never really discussed like a specific goal or like wanting to like win awards or anything. It's just kind of like as long as we can like keep playing the music we like, and there's like we're able to do that, I think that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, I guess it's an outlet as well, isn't it?
Ellie wants to win a Grammy. Yeah, she's annoyed that she hasn't already got
it. We didn't get a Grammy
categories.
for the album we haven't released yet.
But if you specialise enough, you just do like modern jazz or something. There's got to be less, if you want to be quite tactical about it. There's like
sounds quite difficult to
right?
do that though.
Yeah, that's probably a bad one. But there are some in there that you're like, there's probably like one album that's been made that is that genre, so that's going to win, right? Just
new metal, perhaps.
I don't know if there's a Grammy for it. Go for it. I don't know.
I like the idea of tactically trying to win this Grammy now. Would you just stop talking about it? I guess we're just going to have to go and win the Grammy.
And why did you pick Calypso as the sound for the new album for the Grammys? It seemed like the easiest category.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. It all kind of came along. But no, great. I mean, let's have a listen to one such track of yours. Hopefully, Grammy Award winning in the future if all goes to plan. Right. This is Baddy Baba by Goat Girl. And there it is. Great track. Wonderful stuff.
Just gonna keep saying things twice and drawing it out.
Say it twice.
I think what you're trying to say, Jamie, is it's time for the best/worst part of the show, depending on...
I think it's probably the worst, to be honest.
I mean, everything. Yeah, no, but it's the best for me, because I enjoy it. So,
Okay, well, there we go then. Thank God.
So, Jamie, do you want to run through the rules of this week's extravaganza?
This week's extravaganza, and first of all, apologies, Holly and Lottie, for this. This is called Sad Cowboy? ? And this is a very simple
question. You can just
question.
say it with a question mark at the end.
You don't have to... You can always go up at the end.
I don't know what was happening was there.
That's amazing.
You've also written it, like, we had like a rough plan for this, and he's written it all in capital letters as well.
I thought you were saying it because you weren't sure what the game was called. Like,
It's like reading a prompter.
Or like what the song was called.
Yeah. But we've based the show around it, so we're just like,
one week that will happen. We will say something, and the actor will be like, I don't have a song called that.
And we'll be like, oh no, we're so falling apart. And the rules are simple for this. We want to deep dive and get your thoughts on who would make a better cowboy out of these two figures that we present. As you can tell, we're really getting to the heart of the issues here on the show, as always. Jake, do you want to start us off with our first two?
I would be happy to. So, who do you think would make a better cowboy out of Miss Piggy or Kermit the Frog?
Miss Piggy.
Yeah, Miss Piggy. Come on.
For sure.
You start with an easy one, They get a lot more difficult.
What makes you think Miss Piggy? Is it? I mean, to be fair,
it's the attitude, isn't it?
Yeah. Out of the two, I mean, Kermit's a bit of a...
She's big. She's pink.
I just got like an instant image of her, like with some boots on and like a cowboy hat, just giving it attitude.
Yeah. Kermit's a bit too feeble to be that. I don't think you could command a presence.
Plus, in real life, a frog would be too small to ride a horse, whereas a pig wouldn't be. So.
You're not wrong.
You can see it. You can see
it and picture it. Oh Jesus! A clear winner. Our next battle is between one Robbie Williams and the rest of Take That. So basically, if anyone out of Take That's going to be a cowboy, who do you reckon it's going to be?
Oh, I thought it was every single other member will be on this horse.
I mean, it could be. I mean, but
the three of them versus just the one of him.
Yeah,
there's only three others. There's only like seven more.
Oh God!
I'd say the others.
Yeah,
I'd say Robbie.
Three dudes on a horse. Let's see it happen.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a force, isn't it?
It's quite probably animal cruelty, though, isn't it? You know, it's probably not good for the horse.
Yeah, that's going to have to be a very muscular horse.
I think it's animal cruelty for any member of Take That on the horse, to be honest.
Wait, can we put the horse on Take That instead? Can we?
Yeah.
The horse is the winner in this scenario. The horse is the cowboy.
I'm not inspired by any of those other options.
They can do the work on this. The horse can be the cowboy.
So the winner here is Take That, get trampled by a horse.
Yes.
That's correct. Good choice. Good choices. Jake, who's next?
Yes, the Rolling Stones or the Beatles. Who would be a better gang of cowboys? An outlaw gang, I guess, probably.
I'd say crush them again. Crush them all.
I love this third option you're just introducing.
Just get rid of them. Just
crush.
You can only save one, no, neither. I don't kill them both.
I love the image that there's just these two horses and these two bands in front of them, and you're just like, it's the horse, to be honest.
Maybe they could ride off and go off the edge of a cliff into a canyon or something.
But then you're killing the horses as well.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Again, collectively, it's hard. I think George Harrison would be quite a nice cowboy, but I don't really like any of the
all
others.
All the members of those two bands, you've gone with one that might be all right.
Yeah, that's basically
appreciate how seriously you're taking this. I appreciate that you're really thinking of the needs of the horse and everything as well.
You're considering a lot.
He probably weighs the least out of the band.
That's true.
He's been dead for a while, so.
Here we go.
That's true.
Oh gosh.
So George Harrison claims that out of all of them.
The ghost of George.
He wins 100%. Moving into, I guess, fictional characters once again. I don't know if you're fans of Tom and Jerry, but the question is it Tom or is it Jerry? Who out of those two?
Definitely Jerry. He's such a little, cheeky little... I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but he's a cheeky little guy,
fine.
you know?
Go for it.
He's a cheeky little mouse.
Yes, he knows what he's doing.
Swear word you were going for. Mouse.
No, I'd already had time to think of a different word.
You cleared away from it. I think probably Jerry's
the mouse.
Yeah, no, Tom's cat.
Wait, so who did you vote for? Jerry?
Yeah,
Jerry
the little mouse. He's a cocky little mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really know it that well, as you can tell.
You're probably too young, Lottie. I'm old past.
Isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, I think it is from the 50s. I think we're all too young for it, right?
Nah,
I think technically.
Yeah, but not in the original run. They were repeats, right? Yeah. It wasn't live.
Nah.
It wasn't live.
Was it ever live?
Well, I don't know. Things were different back then. Animals were cartoons, you know?
The woman in the house was pretty badass as well. I remember her coming in and shouting at the cat and stuff. She'd probably be a pretty good cowboy.
Yeah, didn't she carry a big gun as well around?
She did, something like that. She was,
She really fucking hated Jerry.
Yeah.
Obviously she was pissed off at Tom because in 20 years he didn't manage to catch one fucking mouse, which is obviously what she got him for. Also, his size compared to her means that Tom is a huge cat. He's the size of a
giant
Rottweiler, isn't he?
Yeah. The size of a human in comparison. Too much. Jake, over to you for the next one.
Another important one. Ronald McDonald or the KFC Colonel. Which one of them would be a better cowboy?
No.
Are you going to kill them again?
Is it the horse?
Crush him.
Yeah, crush it. Get rid.
I can't even think of a clever way out of this one, you know.
It's just no. It's just no to either of them. There's not having it.
Fuck them.
Yeah,
I think that's fair enough. To be honest, I'll accept it.
I'll accept it.
I'll allow it.
Oh Lord. The next one, Gordon Ramsay or Nigella Lawson. I don't know who your favourite chefs are.
Come on,
definitely Gordon. We love Gordon.
Look, see, there you go. It's not as simple as you think, is it?
Sexy.
She's so sexy, but I just really love Gordon.
I feel like Gordon Ramsay would be a bad cowboy because he gets so pissed off with it so quickly.
His temper, yeah.
He'd be wrangling a cow and he'd be like, "Fuck this cow! Why isn't it going where I want it to? I give up."
You are completely right, Lottie. I'm just blinded by my love for him.
That would be so sexy.
But she'd start like making up all these weird names for things, like the Lasuli Luli or something, and like doing all this weird.
I should make up really sexy names for the horse, though.
I would definitely rather watch a show where Nigella is a cowboy than Gordon.
Actually, talking of sexy horses, we've had this conversation before about why.
Oh my god, yeah.
Why me and Lottie only watch Peaky Blinders for the sexy horse butts.
Oh my god!
Wow.
I had enough by the opening sequence. That horse was ass.
Nothing but, if anything. So on pure sex appeal, Nigella Lawson wins. Though the horse seemed to be in the running as well. The horse was in the running as well. Amazing. Our last two, Jake.
Yes. I'm going to skip this one you've written because I'm not entirely sure who that first one is, and I'm going to go straight to Bruno Mars or Katy Perry.
Probably Katy Perry. What are you saying, Lottie?
I'm trying to recite their songs in my head.
See if any of them have got songs about being a cowboy.
Just picture them.
Yeah, I'm picturing. I think Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong. No, and also imagine the firework display all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Constantly terrifying all the horses.
Yeah. What's on the back of the horse? Just
the video.
Yeah, wouldn't be able to stop.
From the pop world, though, Little Nas X would be the best cowboy.
Oh, that's
obviously, it's not a fair fight, is it?
He's a trained professional.
I feel like they're worth a mention at this point.
Yeah, just want to let you know, we do have actual choices for the Cowboys here, not the appearances. The last one, which Jake skips because he was not sure about.
I can't picture this first guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know obviously Dolmio pasta sauces?
Oh yeah, those puppets on the telly.
Yeah. You know the main fella with the mustache that.
Does he have a hat?
He's got a massive stash, and he does have a hat.
Yeah, he's got a hat. He's got a fedora.
I think I've kind of got a hazy image in my mind. Not that it matters because I'm not answering, so I'm going to shut up.
I'm glad I brought that back for you. It's either him or the Duracell bunny. Who do we think better cowboy?
Dolmio guy, because he's already got a hat that kind of looks like a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
He's delivering the sauce.
Commands respect.
He needs
he's horrifying.
Oh my god, spaghetti western.
No.
It's made for
there you go.
There it is. There
Duracell, there's no spaghetti connection, so.
Nah, and it probably end up burying a hole. When after a while, just had enough and then just
be
called
too
it a day.
fast, too much energy, and then cause some sort of pollution
He is an animal.
Oh,
Bingo.
Yeah. He doesn't need transport, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't. He simply doesn't need the transport, and therefore he's good. And that unfortunately brings us to the end of our joyful time together.
Sorry, the Dolmio man always has a napkin in, even when he's just chatting. What an idiot! Sorry, I'm just looking at pictures of him. He's just always got a napkin tucked into his shirt, even when he's not going to eat pasta.
He's not even anywhere near pasta in some of those photos.
Exactly, he's just chatting with a fucking napkin. If you were talking to somebody who had a napkin on, you'd be like, mate, you have a napkin on. Remove the napkin.
That is such a
really long neckerchief.
It could be, maybe it's a cravat.
I haven't heard someone say neckerchief in such a long time.
Well, if you become a cowboy, you're going to hear it a lot more. So.
Yeah. Which he's clearly prepared for.
He is.
Thank God. We're going to go look at more pictures of the Dolmio sauce fella. We will unfortunately have to bid farewell to Holly and Lottie from Goat Go. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Yes. We now know the cowboy world inside out, and for that we can only thank you. We can only thank you. The new album On All Fours is out Friday. So pick up a copy. Pick up a copy. Dive on in.
Pick up two.
Pick up 3. We won't go any. Well, I mean, we'll do 10.
3 is the
10.
max.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, and we shall see you soon. This is Sad Cowboy to play us out.
Never starts
And off go Goat Girl. Into the world of the Dolmio sauce fella.
Into the sauce, into the sauce-based milieu.
Into the cowboy realms. A lot of bodies left after that sad cowboy game. Take that no more. They're
what
gone.
I find interesting is it wasn't even like we were saying, like, you have to marry one of Take That. We were just like, just pick one to be a cowboy. You don't even have to be around when they're a cowboy. And they were like, no, kill them.
I rate the backbone.
And there wasn't even any hesitation. It was just like, no, kill them. Don't want them.
Yeah, just clear them out. But, you know, Dolmio Sauce guy. I mean, ultimately, it shows that if Goat Girl ran the world, who would be the king?
It would always be your Dolmio
Everyone.
Day.
It would be. Everyone's Dolmio Day.
So, Dolmio, if you're listening, I assume, well, you know, the head of Dolmio, not the sauce itself. Sponsorship would be welcome. We've just shilled for you, so send us 20 quid or a jar of sauce. That'd be nice.
Yeah, for both ourselves and on behalf of Goat Girl.
Of course, yeah.
Get in touch. Yeah, we're here. We're here to make money. We'll be frank with you.
We are.
We're
yes, that's the only reason we're here, honestly.
But I guess we also are here to talk about music. So pushing money aside for one moment.
Jamie, are you going to talk about the chocolate bars we're launching? The down with milk boring and the the dark chocolate.
The dark chocolate, yeah.
They're only £15 plus postage. Let us know if you want one and we'll send them through.
Yeah, and while you're there, you can also pick up a copy of this month's magazine, which is out now, available at the Dork website.
It is.
Pop by.
No dark chocolate comes with that.
No dark chocolate at all. So I hope so far on the show you've been convinced to go and pick up a copy
of the quality of our produce.
New music, Jake. Do you want to start us off this week?
I've got a bit of a saucy one to start us off. It's a bit of an erotically charged number, this one. I think you remember a while back when Royal Blood announced their new sexy album. You know, their raunchy new romp through the audio world. Well, they've released another track off it.
Have they?
They have.
God.
Yes,
Heavens
it's called
above.
Typhoons, which I think kind of embraces the raw sexual energy that emanates from.
That's a bit filthy.
From the track. Yeah, well, you know, two lads from coastal town in West Sussex, you know, there's going to be a lot of sexual energy coming off of them, you know. If you've ever been to Worthing, if you go to the AMF bowling alley, you'll understand what an erotic place Worthing can be. And they've really channeled that on the new track, I think. No, this is a very good.
What an erotic place Worthing can be.
Yes.
Sensational. But go on, please do continue.
This is just a very good new track from Royal Blood.
Yes.
I think it reminds me quite a lot of some of the stuff on that first album that really made everyone pay attention to them kind of first time round, you know? Just really, really good fun. Like, you know, just doing what Royal Blood do best, I guess. I mean, it's not exactly chock full of surprises for you, but it is very good.
Yeah. It's like an evolution of their sound, isn't it? It's a little, you know, they've kind of, you know, if you go back to that first album, you know, and what that sound is like.
Sexy.
You know, wasn't as sexy as this, no. But you can see that sound was replicated kind of in the second album. It was, you know, you got an idea of who Royal Blood were, right? This album, it just seems like they're having a little bit more fun with it all. It sounds, like you say, they're bringing in these more, I guess, electronic elements to it. And, yeah, just really playing around with it all, which sounds really great. You know, that Queen into the Stone Age element as well was kind of there as well.
To me, it does sound like they've worked out the core elements of like what makes them, and now they're happy to play around with all the other stuff. Whereas I feel like on the second album they were still sort of working out what they could change and what they couldn't without completely moving away from what made them Royal Blood, I guess. And weird promo about it being a sexy album aside. I think this is a very good song. You think it's sexy? You can imagine,
a little bit of sexiness
James Bond's got out of the sea, he's taken the wetsuit off, he's gone up to the hotel room, and in walks a scantily clad woman, and you can picture him leaning over, pressing play, and Typhoons by Royal Blood coming on, can you?
See, I can imagine it, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I mean, maybe not the full scene that you laid out. My kind of image was more, you know, like a bunch of mates coming downstairs in Las Vegas and opening the doors. And one of them's wearing a floral shirt. The other one's wearing like a pink shirt. The other one's wearing like a denim jacket. And the other one is wearing... I don't know, a Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt. And this song
or a Jack Daniels t-shirt.
There we go, famously, yeah. And this song is playing. And I was like,
that's not as sexy, though, is it?
I just want to flag, we've said the term sexy a lot on this show, and I'd just like to apologise on behalf of myself and Jake right now.
Yeah, sorry.
For the amount of...
I can swap it out for raunchy.
Raunchy's a bit better.
Lusty. A lusty new album.
Lusty!
Let Royal Blood ravish your ears with their lusty new offering.
Like you're in the Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. I can picture them in the Moulin
Rouge. Oh, God. Moving swiftly on from that. I've got a new track, and this one's from Griff. And it's called Black Hole. Griff's kind of been, I guess, like over the last few months, the end of last year, she kind of started to emerge a bit, releasing great singles, and kind of has rightfully been tipped by all sorts of places. She was in our hype list, of course, this year on the BBC Sound of, rightfully tipped. And I guess I could see exactly why she was being tipped. It was really great pop songs, but this feels like the moment she steps up above that. She becomes a big deal because this song is an absolute belter. It's an absolute belter.
It is.
Yeah, big pop song, big drama, big lyrics. Yeah, amazing. It just gets immediately stuck in your head, and this should be the song that properly breaks her into the get ready. This is going to be a big year for Griff.
If you lost weight
massive stuff,
and you still wanted to wear the same trousers, you would listen to this track. Is that what you're saying? Because it's a belter.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But I'm not right.
So I can't say you're wrong, but I don't think you're right at the same time.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Gotta toe that fine line.
Yeah. It bubbles about. It's the sort of track that you'd put your money and your house on to be one of the best songs of the year. I reckon. It's a stormer.
Good thing you don't have a house. Is this why you don't have a house? Making bets halfway through January.
I've got 2 weeks left of this lease. Let's see where I end up. In the meantime, though, I'll just keep listening to this song. This is Griff with Black Hole.
There's a big black hole where my heart used to be, and I tried
in the house, thank God. Still in the house.
God. I have a track also.
Ooh. Hello.
This is the new one from Yard Act, a band I think was one of my picks from the hype list when we did that show, if I remember correctly. I am decaying at an intense rate, so I can't be sure. Band from Leeds. This is the new one, yes. Dark Days. It's really good fun. I think they came out the gate with that Fixer Upper. I think that was the one that made most people was the one that most people heard.
Yeah.
I think this is, from what I heard from the other stuff that they'd done, it was a bit like, these are all different versions that aren't quite as good as Fixer Upper. And this one, I feel like they're actually moving. They've still got all of that fun sort of storytelling, almost spoken word stuff. It's very kind of jagged around the edges, kind of almost post-punk, but sort of stream of consciousness, weird poetry stuff with a bit of humor thrown in. But this one, I feel like, moves more towards, okay, I could listen to an album of this, whereas I feel like an album of Fixer Upper would be Fixer Upper 12 times.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that, because Fixer Upper, really good song, and like you say, we kind of have tipped them and talked about them a lot and been one to keep an eye out, and this is why. But I don't know, it very much had its sound, you know what I mean? You knew what you kind of were getting with it. And this is the first time I've been okay, this is a fuller band sound. I can imagine watching this live and it being incredible. It feels like it's them, I don't know, maybe just taking all that kind of, I guess, all that praise as well from people, and people being like, you guys are going to be great here, and just embracing it and just going for it. And it's the sort of track that, just really stands out on its own 2 feet. And if this is a sign of what's to come, then I think we're going to get in a little good ride, don't we?
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because at the moment it's so impossible to judge the size of it. These guys have had so much hype around them, and they've announced a few socially distant shows, which obviously sold out really quickly. But then, I mean, what's that, 30 tickets, realistically? Yeah. So it is really hard to see whether or not they are kind of penetrating beyond those circles of hype. But they live up to it, I think, is the thing. Listening to them, I was really blown away. And I think it just sounds different to other stuff that's around. I think you would put them in with that kind of post-punk scene, but not because they sound like it. They just don't really sound like anything else. So it's you can go in there.
Yeah. It's full of energy. And for me, this is their best track to date, I reckon.
Wise words from the man who just bet his house on another song.
And if you
would you bet your house on this one?
Would you buy good money for a dinner with LeBron James?
Would you buy good money? This is Dark Days by Yard Act. Fanfuck, I bought you enough time not to get shot. It's a never-ending cycle of abuse. I had the blues and I can't shake them loose. I had the blues and I can't shake them loose. It's a never-ending cycle of abuse. It's a never-ending cycle of abuse. I had the blues and I can't shake them loose. I had the blues and I can't shake them loose. How would you buy money for a dinner with LeBron James? What does that mean? Are you buying arcade tokens?
No, but someone must have bought money. There's no way. How was the first money handed out? What was the moment where it was
I cannot.
Everyone has money.
I cannot be bothered to go into this with you.
Well, thankfully, I've got a track for you if I must move on. From Mr. Tongue-Tied over there. This is Charlie Adams. And the song is called Maybe Could Have Loved. And Charlie Adams, someone we've played on the show before. Someone who, we were like, oh wow, this is, not out of nowhere. And it was just a standout track that she put out before that was really, really great. And so now it's right, where do we go now? Is that just the kind of one track that she has, which is great, and that's it? But this is her, going that step further. Maybe Could Have Loved is just a real slow burning track, but it's a sort of epic pop track that just is brilliant. You can hear all those little influences, that bits of 1975 in there, bits of just like wider big pop tunes, like a Zara Larsson almost in places, and the result is just like a really really good mix, and I'm very excited because that for me is like, Didn't Make It was a song that came out before, and then now this, and I'm like, both of those tracks were brilliant and really stood out. So now I'm like, right, okay, let's see what's coming now, let's see what's happening with that debut album. And it's a really, really great pop song. And it's good that she's kind of just doing things differently, and it feels familiar, but also completely unique as well at the same time, which is, I think, is a very hard balance to have, is to be both of those. Big fan of this track.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one. Don't have much to add to that, Jamie. Your masterful discourse, as always, renders me redundant.
It also features Knightley, who I believe is her housemate. So that's nice. So what have you been doing in lockdown, in that house? Tracks. I mean, I know what you've been doing. We've been here the whole time.
This.
Yeah, what you don't understand, everyone, is that we actually record about 50 hours a week, and we cut it down to what you hear.
It's like a Hollywood film. Takes a couple of years, but it's only a couple of hours at the end. Imagine
the real
what
thing
we
is
cut.
editing. Oh, have a think about that while we listen to Charlie Adams. Maybe Could Have Loved.
Whatever happened to loving someone long enough to maybe hurt someone? Whatever happened to a little risk, getting sick of it? Someone you maybe could have loved. I can't forget, I keep reliving October. I swear to God, I could tell you wanted me to stay. Talked until I missed the train. You walked away. Can we forget about keeping shit so together? Forget about thinking it's forever and nothing lasts. What would happen if we said?
I don't know why I sang the end of that.
No. No one does. No one could ever know.
No.
Now, Jamie.
Jake. Yeah. What's happening now?
Am I? What's? Are we?
I mean,
am I? Yeah.
You go. You go first. Go on. Yeah.
As it's January, we
Correct.
planned we were going to do a little look forward at some albums in the next few months that we're looking forward to, and then big albums got released, which we had to cover. So we're only just getting to doing that now. So pretend this is the first show back, and we're doing an albums we're looking forward to. That's what we're going to do. So
you really
picked a couple of albums.
Really sold it.
Both picked a couple of albums that we're looking forward to in the next few months, and we're going to chat about them. Have a little chat, discuss them. About what we're looking forward to, why we're looking forward to. Yeah. It's nice to have something to look forward to, like going outside when it's not too windy. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, going for a walk for about an hour and a half.
When it's not too windy.
Quite nice. Well, I like the wind, if anything. It pushes me forward.
Sometimes it's too windy, Jamie.
Do you want me to start things off?
Well,
with some albums
I explained the concept. I think it's only polite for me to let you go first.
Well, thank you. I'm glad our manners are so on point this week. I guess that, we're obviously looking over the first few months of the year, and kind of for me, there's probably 2 acts I'm looking at.
That's really good, because that's the amount we've given for the albums. So this is really working well for us.
The relief. First band is, I guess, Dork favourites by this point, a band we've talked about many times on the show. Yeah. The reissue. We're talking about Pale Waves, of course, who will be releasing their second album, Who Am I, in February. And I'm just excited to see what they're doing on this album. So everything we've heard so far is this change in musical direction a little bit, in terms of, this very, more late 90s, early 2000s kind of guitar pop approach. Different to go at that debut album, which was very, I guess 80s synth pop really, and that kind of change is really, really exciting. And yeah, from what we've heard so far, the 2 tracks kind of like put out, or 3 tracks actually, are really great. And yeah, it kind of points this new direction for them, and I think it's a big record as well. That first album, you have all the time in the world to make it. The second album, right, you've got to get this turned around and out sharpish. So to see what they do next is very, very, important. And I think what it sounds so far is they've got that pop sensibility that's still running through what they're doing. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it all forms out. I think they're really a great singles band. And seeing them kind of like put that into a second album is going to be really, really interesting. And they're great as well,
They are, yeah. That's the main point. I think that kind of goes without saying. The amount we've covered them, you'd hope that we thought they were great, really.
Yeah. There's plenty in the locker there, and yeah, I'm just dead excited to see what they're doing, and I think they are, really leading the way this year in terms of that new kind of like indie band world, and yeah, you'll be intrigued to see how that comes out. So yeah, that's out in February.
Okay,
I recommend.
So that's one. Number 2.
That's
Jamie?
one. My second is a band we've played a little bit. They've kind of been taking their time over the past year. I think last year was meant to be.
I can't imagine why.
Their year. And they obviously everything was put on hold. But the band is Inhaler, the legends from Ireland, and they, we're thinking, when's that debut album coming? And as it stands, we don't know when it's coming. But we did recently hear that the album is done, and it should be early this year. So I'm keeping an eye out at some point over the next few months that we may see it land. So I think that's going to be a big, big album. I think they've grown such a loyal fan base over the past, couple of years, I guess, with these huge anthemic, kind of a little bit like, I guess dark as well, like big indie songs. There's definitely this kind of like underbelly of like, Joy Division, Echo and the Bunnymen, this kind of like, this unreal like darkness, I guess, alongside these huge pop choruses. And, obviously if you've seen them live, you'll understand that they're just seen on course for like massive stages.
Oh, I remember I think it was a Blossoms headline at quite a small venue. And I swear the crowd Inhaler was supporting, and the crowd for Inhaler seemed more enthusiastic and almost bigger than that for Blossoms. It was that was, both, but I just remember being there for Inhaler, and I just remember standing there like, how is this already the level that these fans? It was as if they were like 5 albums in. Like these fans were just there as if like this is the band I will love for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
like that seems to be the devotion.
That was like Sea Bright Arms, wasn't it? It was like
yes.
Yeah, a real little. I mean, that's the sign, isn't it? And they've already got this huge fan base, so loyal to them, and they just keep getting better as well. Like the songs just keep evolving and growing, and yeah, I think if there's going to be a real breakthrough new band this year, I think you'd be hard pressed to look anywhere past Inhaler. They're absolutely on top form. And so hopefully we'll receive news of that at some point soon.
I'm excited to hear it when it breaks.
Yeah. This is Inhaler when it breaks.
I didn't realise that was the song. That's exciting, isn't it?
You absolutely peeked your nose in front of the dinner there.
You know when you're like listening to the news on the radio, and they'll be like, it'll be the news reporter, and then they'll be like, and over to Jamie with the sport, and I hear Manchester United had a shock loss. I always think like that's like their big news, and you're just there Oh, by the way,
thanks, mate. Yeah, as you said. But yeah, but hey, it's all right. We can all join in the Halo love.
I've got some albums that I'm looking forward to now as well.
I bloody well hope so. What albums are they?
So first of all, I think the new Slow Tie album, Tyron, which we've spoken about, the track Mazza on the show.
Yes, we did.
And I mean, basically what I said then I think still applies. I'm looking forward to hearing where he's gone, because I think the first one was so much a product of his upbringing and like his past before doing music. I'm kind of excited to see where he goes with obviously the couple of years he's had when he's been like, there's been a couple of controversies, which apparently he does address on the album in some form or another.
Okay.
And also this idea of it kind of being a double-sided album, with some being more introspective. I think it feels like it's going to be a very different album to the first one. And I'm just really excited to see. I think he's genuinely just really, really talented. And I think seeing what he's going to do with a second album, which is different to the first, obviously draws on different experiences. And as you said, the same kind of thing with Pale Ways of like, he had to do this album in a way that he didn't with the first. So I think maybe there's going to be more focus to it. Because I think the first one, I remember when I reviewed it, my one gripe with it was that it did feel a bit rough around the edges in a way that I don't think was intended. There's obviously that kind of roughness that was intended, but I think there was also a kind of a bit of this artist working out who he was and what he was doing, and a couple of bits didn't land that well for me. So I am looking forward to hearing this one, which feels a lot more considered.
Where he does better, by the sounds of it.
Well, yeah. Basically, I think like because I loved what was happening on that first album, so I'm really excited to see the polished version of that, basically with different lyrical themes. I guess is the thing.
Yeah,
like I haven't been as excited as about. I wasn't the first album. I hadn't been as excited about an album for a hell of a long time, a debut album, and I really did love that album. But I loved it. And I felt that there were bits where it could improve, which is why I'm so excited for the second one, because I feel like it's not like when you hear a debut and you're like, wow, they'll never capture that again. I heard that debut and I was like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with this. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing it in 1 or 2 albums' time as well, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's, like you say, there's definite similarities there with, obviously in very different places as well between, that with Pale Waves and Slow Tie.
No, it's same like, genre, I think.
Completely. Play on the same show. But it's that same sort of, like you say, a great debut album, what comes next? Like, how can you improve on that? And all the signs, all the signs with Slow Tie that it's going to be, different, but also that's what makes it so intriguing. He's evolving as a person, and obviously, like you say, going through what he has gone through over the past few years and everything like that. I think, it's going to be a really interesting one. Seeing how it all comes out. But that's in February, you say?
It is 12th of February, yes.
There it is. I think it's the same day as Pale Waves. So we're just
there you
picking
go.
the double here.
It is.
The chart
same
battle
band.
begins. Of course. Oh dear. Who else?
Another
album?
one similar to Inhaler in that it hasn't been announced, but it is finished. It's like there aren't details of this album. This is the debut from Dry Cleaning. So the album is done, they have said, but we don't really have any more details than that. But one can assume if it's done that the most recent singles of theirs are probably on it, considering it is also a debut.
Yeah.
We could probably make that assumption.
We can safely,
Yeah, and again, I just think they're doing something really different that I really enjoy. There is that kind of post-punk thing. Actually, I guess similar to what we were saying about Yard Act, there's that post-punk, but it's also a lot of spoken word stuff. The lyrics are really enjoyable. No one else really sounds like them. And Scratch Card Lanyard, which came out, when was that? A few weeks ago? Time means nothing anymore.
End of last year.
I just love that track. I've played it so many times. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to an album that hopefully includes a lot more along those lines, basically.
Yeah, everything they've done has been so intriguing and you know, like it's been, you know, what, like a few years they've kind of been, you know, bubbling around, but it's only over the past, I guess, year in particular that you say suddenly everyone's turning and being like, okay, let's see what they're doing here. And just seeing how that all comes together is intriguing. This is it with bands who kind of like release these tracks that are, you know, very different in ways. Is that it's like, well, how is that going to work as one album? You know, it's very intriguing to me when that kind of comes up. So yeah, Dry Cleaning is definitely a band. I'm keen to see what happens.
Yeah,
whenever
and
that
what I
debut
enjoy,
comes.
I think, with them and with Yard Act is this thing of they draw on these aspects of poetry and like dissonant noise and stuff like that, but without being really pretentious and unlistenable. You know what I mean? Like the tracks are still a few minutes long. They're not like 12 minutes. You know, they've still got choruses. They've still got clear structure. They still are good fun, you know, without being really formulaic.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Whilst also being experimental with it, isn't it? You know what I mean? Not playing around with it. Yeah, that's exactly it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Exactly. So we don't know when that's out because, you know, it hasn't.
We're not mind readers.
Exactly. Yeah, basically. But anyway, this is Scratch Card Lanyard by Dry Cleaning.
I've come here to make a ceramic shoe, and I've come to smash what you made. I've come to learn how to mingle. I've come to learn how to dance. I've come to join the knitting circle. I've come to hand weave my own bunk bed ladder in a few short sessions. It's a Tokyo bouncy ball, it's an Oslo bouncy ball, it's a Rio de Janeiro bouncy ball. Filter, I love these mighty oaks, don't you? Do everything and feel nothing.
Great tune. Great tune. Great tune.
There's another great tune that I would love to listen to, though.
No.
It's a jingle, actually, more than a tune.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Can I just check something, King, quickly here? Why is it we still haven't recorded this yet?
Well,
is it
I mean, we said before that it's too high for the. But you'll remember we had that studio booked, didn't we? You know, the one that we had to kick out the Rolling Stones to use, and it cost thousands and thousands of pounds. Remember that one?
Yes.
And then when you turned up, you'd just eaten a Burger King and you felt a bit sleepy, and then you had a nap, and then we didn't have any time left. So this is
that's
your
exactly
fault,
what
really.
happens. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Plus, I had to pay to get the ketchup staying out of that sofa.
We are 35 episodes into this show. Just want to flag this, but don't worry. Let's do it then.
It's rustic, you know. It's like Christopher Nolan likes to use physical effects whenever he can in his films because they feel more real. Jamie, I want it to feel real.
And what we are producing something of the quality of what The Dark Knight are we now?
I guess what we're producing makes about as much sense as Tenet, doesn't it? So
as traumatic. Okay. Of the week.
Actually, this week there's an Instagram in there, so could we maybe work that in?
Fuck's sake. Instagram of the week.
That was hauntingly beautiful. I loved that.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
That was really nice.
I was a choir boy once. No, I wasn't. That's a lie.
Thank God. I was going to say, let's not go into that.
Yeah, let's go on to the first, the Instagram of the week. Away from Twitter.
I am excited for us to use something from the social media based around images on this audio-only show. Take it away, Jamie.
Yeah. I can see why I'm doing this one. This is from one Matthew Healy of the 1975. Famously not on Twitter.
Yes. 19 and the 75.
Of course. So yeah, let me describe this. So what it is there is a picture here taken from CCTV, and it's a guy who looks like he's stolen something, and he's wearing what looks like a 1975 top, or maybe a rip-off 1975 top, because it doesn't look quite right. But maybe he bought it from like one of those Camden
clearly
stores.
A criminal, so he's not going to be buying real merch, is he?
Well, you don't know. Some criminals may be like, hey, do you know what? I will steal that milk from the shop, but, got to support our artists. You never know. But he definitely didn't get this, I don't think, from there. But the Instagram post, obviously, of that image of the guy in the 1975 top, looks like he's stolen something, is this guy just robbed a bank in South America. Shop the look at 1975.com/merch.
Look, times are hard for bands,
Few things here. Matty here, hey, any opportunity, you've got to try and make some money, bands have got to keep going. And he's seen this and has gone, oh yeah, someone's looks like he's robbed a bank. But he's wearing my top though. So maybe they're just reaching out to the criminal market more.
They are a market that's very cash rich, Yeah.
They will invest quickly and very, very quickly. They actually will ask you to take all of their money and put it through your own business. And
exactly. Maybe they've got a knockoff merch company as their money laundering business. That's why they've got the bootleg 1975 t-shirt. We can only assume.
I love this idea that the 1975 are just going to, look, guys, we're doing really well in all these places, but have you thought about money laundering? Anyone? I rate it, Look, shop the look. You can't fault, yes, he robbed the bank, but he did look quite fly. So, touche. Give it a shout out. But also from touche to too shy. Let's have a listen in honour of our lone bank robber. This is If You're Too Shy, Let Me Know by the 1975. Would you ever rob a bank, Jake? Would you ever rob a bank? If needs must, would you?
I don't think I've ever seen a headline where someone robs a bank and then isn't caught.
Yeah, I mean, the best.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a crime that most people are win at.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I'd look into it. I feel like those people that drive up to cash points and get them out with a big digger, they seem to get away with it occasionally, don't they?
I mean, do you remember the famous ATM at Tea in the Park that was literally just robbed and was never returned? No one ever knew where it went.
See? When I was at Benicassim,
genius.
It was so hot, this was years ago, back when I could deal with the Spanish heat, that people couldn't put their tent pegs into the ground. So what people were doing was, instead of nicking stuff from tents, 4 of them would just walk up, each grab one corner of the tent, and then just sprint off with it. And obviously just look through it somewhere else. Which, I mean, impressive, I think, entrepreneurial.
But just dashing it, aren't there just basically tents just flying
You'd be sitting
by?
there. Yeah, you'd be sitting there drinking a basically a hot beer.
Because you're not getting a cold one.
You just see just above the tents, because you couldn't see the people. You just see one of the tents a bit higher than the others, bobbing as it went off. Because they'd just take it 50 foot away and put it down, and then the person wouldn't be able to find it, and they'd have a rifle through, take the melted cheese and hot beers, and get on with their life.
God. Crime, eh?
What's it all about?
Talking of crime,
I'll tell you something that isn't a crime, Jamie. It's 10:15 p.m. and Lily Allen has a plate of biscuits and a massive glass of milk, according to her Twitter. That's not a crime, is it?
No. I think actually there's something quite warming about that. My cold
the reason I
heart
brought it up
begins to
is
fall.
twofold.
Right.
Number one, I think it is quite warming. I think it's quite nice.
It's a nice thing.
Domestic.
It
made me think, like, God, I could go for that, and I haven't really drunk milk in years. Straight.
Do we
from
know
the
what
cow.
day? Do we know what day of the week this was?
1 second, let me just do some calculations. It was a Sunday.
Oh, that's nice. That
is very nice.
Right, I'll give you that. If it was like a Friday or a Saturday,
well, in lockdown, I think that's still nice. I think, this country needs more rituals that don't involve alcohol. Why not go to the pub with a plate of biscuits and a pint of milk,
Many reasons.
Yeah, I know. But one of the reasons I brought this up, actually, the main one, is how many biscuits do you think a plate of biscuits is?
I'm going to presume, first of all, we need to clarify what our expecting plate is. And my expecting plate is one of the small...
I'd
small,
agree. For biscuits,
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
A side plate.
Not having a bowl, not having a bowl plate, the ones that are like, oh, there's a little bit of a divot in it. No, I ain't having that. Small plate, thin, done, right?
Yeah.
A plate of biscuits. Now, if you want a plate of biscuits, I've got to assume it's a being
How are you taking so long to answer this question?
I reckon
just a
lowest,
number. Just a number.
8.
That's all I'm asking for.
8
biscuits.
8.
Fucking hell.
8. What do you mean, fucking hell?
That's half a packet. You might as well just eat the packet.
It's a plate. It's a plate of biscuits.
I was thinking like 5.
8. 5. Who are you? What are you doing?
I'm Lily
8
Allen.
Biscuits.
That's who we're being here.
Maybe we should ask her.
Mate, she's got 71 replies to that and 900 likes. She's not listening to us.
Story of my life.
Actually, someone's just put living the lockdown dream and she's just put yup. So maybe she would reply to us.
I reckon 8 biscuits on a small plate. What she's not saying, is this all for her? Is this for, is it to be shared?
I assume it's for her. Like that's the joy of it, isn't it? Because I think there is this thing, right? When you're a child, you're like, God, I wish I could eat all those biscuits, but my parents won't let me.
Yeah.
And then there's a crossover period where your parents stop having any influence, right? But your own brain then stops you. You have a policeman in your head rationing what you do.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it is nice to just like literally get a plate, pour biscuits onto it, and be like, "Fuck you, I'm going to eat these now."
Yeah. Freedom.
Exactly.
If you will.
How big do you think the glass of milk is? She put massive.
Massive. The use of the word massive makes me think.
I'm thinking like a stein.
I'm thinking.
One of the ones with like a metal lid on it.
I'm thinking like one of those big like jugs. I'm thinking like, if you go to any high street drinking establishment that is open past 2 a.m. in the morning that also has a dance floor playing Pitbull, they have the jugs for cocktails, right? I'm presuming a similar sort of arrangement for that. But I actually think maybe massive is a bit too much. I reckon she's probably got, a pint?
Yeah, I'd say a pint. I think it's probably a pint, and I think probably 5 biscuits because your 8 was ridiculous. I don't think Lily Allen. I don't think I could eat 8 biscuits, and Lily Allen is probably less gluttonous than me, I'd imagine.
Do you remember with milk, just on the massive glass of milk, there's obviously a danger of having too much milk when you drink. Did you see? Do you remember the milk carton challenge or the milk challenge?
Oh yeah, and then you just vomit everywhere immediately.
Yeah, that's mental, isn't it? Do you see that? Because apparently your body.
That's my reaction to eating biscuits as well.
Your body can only hold like what 2 liters of milk? Is that the rough quo pro quo?
Something like that. I mean, if you think about it, like if you actually hold a gallon of milk, like if you think about that entire gallon being inside you, I couldn't fit it in there unless I use some of the arms, and there's no space in there. You know, that's all muscle and blood.
Yeah, I watched a friend do that milk challenge once. Obviously, it was the rainbow milk challenge. It was really funny for about.
Sorry, what's the rainbow milk challenge?
See, that's a whole other kettle of fish. That involves you get obviously the big milk. You've got you get some like food colouring,
right?
Pop it in the top, and then the idea is that multiple people do it, and therefore you will have many colours, if you will, falling to the floor.
Of course.
And that happened, and watched it happen, and it was funny for about a minute, and then you realised, oh no, that's actually quite bad. It's quite
imagine the smell.
Quite
that's
horrible.
not good, is it?
No.
I am realising swiftly that this is the end of the show. So what we're doing is for the last segment discussing how disgusting vomiting milk would be, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to smile.
I can't believe how well I set you up to say that it doesn't make you want to smile, and you somehow made it that. You know what, Jamie? You don't make me want to smile by Lily Allen.
Yeah, it kind of fell apart there.
I think that's basically all we've got time for, isn't it?
I think we're all better than that, but
we are. Right. Yeah. Well, you're worse than that, and I'm better than that, so we kind of level out at that, I guess. Have you got any predictions, Jamie?
I reckon the weeks kind of roll into one another, don't they? At the moment,
they do.
And not much happens. So I reckon they're going to add a new day. And there's going to be an opening ceremony
for the day.
Craig David plays for the day.
Craig David plays.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
Will he do a remix of his hit track 7 Days?
I hope so. And the day is going to be a day that appears in the middle. It's going to be called Green Day. That's going to happen.
Because, depressing and no one really likes it.
You don't want to be an American idiot, Jay.
It's true. I don't. It's very true.
What about you? What do you think is going to happen in the world?
Well, I think obviously the Rolling Stones are releasing a chocolate bar. And these days you can't get any traction with a new product unless you engage with influencers. And part of engaging with influencers is not going for the biggest ones, it's going for the micro influencer who's really big in your area. So you want influencers who are always talking about things like chocolate, right? So I think what's going to happen is the Rolling Stones are going to do a series of sponsored content tweets with Lily Allen, where she tweets, it's 10 p.m, just going to have a Rolling Stones brown sugar trademark chocolate bar and a huge glass of milk.
I mean, by the way, if anyone who works with the Rolling Stones is listening, by the way, please send us one of these chocolate bars.
We'll review it on air. Can I have a chocolate bar?
Yeah, and if it's good, we will say it's good. We're not just going to have a pop.
And if it's bad, we will say it's good.
We'll say it's bad. Sponsored content.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag SponCon.
Also, just a quick one. Anyone who just has any food and would like to send it in, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, anything.
Anything at this point.
I will. Yeah, I'll have it.
Great. So I think that's the end of another show. So just another little tip from me. if you enjoy a fried egg sandwich, if you put just a little bit of Liam Perrins on the egg after you've cooked it, it really adds a lovely zing to the centre of the sandwich.
Oh,